Welcome to Changing Your Life. So many people realize far too late that after working hard their entire lives to reach their own goals, whether it's to be happy, to have their own business, or have financial independence, they recognize that in the process of attaining these things, they've lost the true meaning of their lives. They missed the very reason they were created for. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 4 says, "Long before he laid down earth's foundation, he had us in mind, had settled on us as the focus of his love, to be made whole and holy by his love." Let's consider our purpose. We were not called to be Christians just to live happy lives in this temporary world. We were created to receive God's love and share it with everyone we encounter. Before the earth was formed, God loved us and had a plan to redeem and transform us into the image of his Son from all the mess we got ourselves into. You see, God doesn't just love, he is love. His power to create, heal, forgive, and change is based on his character. According to the first 3 verses in 1 Corinthians 13, if we don't learn to love and be loved in the way God intends, our lives will be wasted and unfulfilled. Without his love, we are empty, lonely, and without meaning or purpose. Love is the reason God created us. The Father chose to expand the love he shared with the Son and Holy Spirit to include us, those he made in his image. And we reflect his nature by spreading his gospel of love to the world. Martin Luther King inspired us to recognize this in his book, Strength to Love, by stating that our responsibility as Christians is to discover the meaning of the command to love and seek passionately to live it out in our daily lives. The My Leap Guide will help us to absorb and digest today's biblical principle. Let us start by meditating on today's verse, found in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4. Long before he laid down earth's foundations, he had us in mind, had settled on us as the focus of his love, to be made whole and holy by his love. So let's stop the video and repeat this 4 or 5 times to make sure that we memorize it and truly meditate on the verse. As I meditate on this verse, God reveals to me that his love is his strategy to make us whole or complete, as well as holy or righteous. Now, as a trigger or a reminder throughout your day, meditate on this verse every time you see an image of love, a heart emoji, a tender hug. Every time you see something that reminds you about love, recite the verse in your mind and meditate on it. Don't forget at the end of your day to write your story. You can use different colors to illustrate what happened, your reaction, response, God's message, or answers to prayer. Make sure that you're listening to God's Spirit throughout your day. Expect more insight and revelation through his word. And when you receive it, make sure you write it down in your journal. So now let's evaluate ourselves. Let's take a few minutes to answer these questions. Number 1, if God has always loved you, even before you were born, does your performance, whether it's good or bad, change his love for you? Number 2, do you see yourself as the focus of God's love? And number 3, are you living God's purpose or your own? Today's action is, think of an area in your love life where God's unconditional love can strengthen one of your relationships, and then begin to act in his love towards that person by faith. The last step of my leap is prayer. So I'll start praying and then you can continue when I stop. Father, thank you for loving me before I was born and designing a plan to restore and transform me through your love. Use me as a vessel that shares your love with everyone I meet. Continue praying. Our prayer is that My Leap helps you renew your mind, grow in God's love, and conform to the image of Jesus Christ. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experience with friends that have joined us on this journey by subscribing to our Facebook group and YouTube channel.